Hey guys, J-Man here in the Phantom Zone, and today is really the first day of the actual space opera tournament. So that's pretty crazy. But it's just been a lot of leading up to getting the 8 movies together. We went through all the qualifying matches, so that was a lot of fun. But we're finally at the proper tournament now, so this is going to be good. So all of these movies have survived, and they've made it to this tournament. So it's going to be a little tougher than normal. We're going to bring our panel in just a second. I've already posted my Wakanda Forever review, and so check that out on my channel. And I've also posted why Namor sucks and why I'm a lot smarter than everybody else. So check out that video as well. Now that one's a little bit of sarcasm, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. But we want to break this movie down, so we're going to break that movie down tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Sean is going to join me to talk about Wakanda Forever. We also have Clobberin Times, who's going to be on tomorrow night with us to do some spoiler talk. We're going to, apologize to Bill Everett. Someone owes him an apology, and it's going to be us. We're going to give him an apology that he deserves for the ruination of Namor or Namor, or however you say it incorrectly. We'll talk about the great Chadwick Boseman, and we'll talk about the movie and spoiler talk, and we'll see how it goes. So that's tomorrow night, guys. Okay. Well, let's get this thing going here. Start bringing in some of these panelists so we can start figuring out what movie's better here. Hello.
Hey, so
all right, this is a good one tonight. This is going to be a good one tonight. 2 good movies, so we need more people. It's just, you and I can't do this alone. It's like this is like where they remember in Bad Taste, where the guy comes in, he's like, "This is a job for real men," and then he picks up the phone and he has a stick that has a severed finger on the end of it, and then he presses a button on the thing. He says, "The boys," and he calls the boys.
Yeah.
It's like, "This is a job for real men," and then he presses the thing. It's like that's how this is. We need the real men on this one here. So let's bring in our next guest. Hey, Charlie.
I'm one of the boys. I get to be Carl Urban though.
Oh man, Carl Urban's the best, man. Yeah, I don't think I feel comfortable with myself with being one of the actual one of the heroes or whatever.
One of the 7.
Yeah, I don't think I could feel like I want to be Soldier Boy, but really, I really don't want to be Soldier Boy.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be Soldier Boy. I think you want to be Jensen. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, let's bring it. We need one more boy to complete the quartet here. Hello.
There's our 4th.
Yeah, today's a crappy day, man. Wakanda
I know
Forever came
that
out,
really shocked me.
Kevin Conroy passed away.
Dude.
Yeah, so let's say hello. Okay, so we got Could Not Be Reached is already in here. Hey, how's it going, man?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. Hey, Joe. Yep. Kevin Conroy, man, 66 years old. That's not really old at all.
No.
Like, I mean, that's really crazy.
He was a Generations Batman, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
There's so many.
It's like there was Adam West, and for like a certain generation, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh, I consider Michael Keaton one of my generation.
Yeah.
But it was Keaton and then Conroy. Conroy was how every kid spent their afternoon watching Batman the Animated Series. Yeah. I have the Batmobile up there. I have all of the animated series stuff. I collect it. I love it. The Batwing, man, that was my jam as a kid, man. Still as an adult, it hasn't been topped. Even with all the other cartoons that have come out that are good, nothing will ever top the animated series or like Mask of the Phantasm, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that cartoon was the best thing to come out of that movie series, really, because aside from the first movie, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like they immediately went to production, and it came out when part 2 came out.
Yep, I remember.
And it's like, you ask any young person about these Michael Keaton Batmans, they'll say, "Oh, they're cheesy and stuff." But every generation loves that cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't aged.
Yeah,
So,
and that came right out of that.
yeah.
I mean, you know, look, I've said this before. The animated series is the best version of Batman, but my favorite is Brave and the Bold.
It's awesome.
That's fun. I like Brave and the Bold. I really do. But you wouldn't have Brave and the Bold without Kevin Conroy and, you know.
That kicked off everything.
You just saw Wakanda. Oh, I apologize.
My condolences, man.
Sorry for you. Sorry, dude.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting until streaming. So if you guys spoil something for me, I really don't give a shit.
There's nothing to spoil because there's no storyline.
That's what my figure is. There's no way to spoil this movie for me.
No,
and there is no story.
Oh, damn it, Sean!
There's no storyline. Yeah,
I mean, there pretends to be one, and then partway through, you're like, wait, how do we get here again? And then you have to track back. It's like, yeah, okay, so this guy's mad but why are they mad? Like, are they all 5? Like, what is this?
It's like when I watched Love and Thunder. There was no story to Love and Thunder. I there was no way you could spoil that movie for me. You know, so that's just the new Marvel now.
Yeah, no story.
The worst too is that I guess Riri Williams is the only scientist on Earth. Like, it's so stupid. It's like, if we kill her,
she came up with that machine.
Okay,
and then they're like, but she wasn't told, because the white establishment is firmly the villain in this one. There's no like good guy white establishment here. I mean, like Martin Freeman's back, and he's a kind of a bumbling whatever, but everybody's bad. So it's just they don't hide it this time, right? So yeah.
Wow.
What a bunch of heavy-handed garbage. Whatever.
Can't wait, guys. Can't wait. You've sold me. I'm going tomorrow now.
I mean, it's shot like well. There's some really epic things in it, but it's like everything looks technically great, but it's just the storytelling and some of the acting. Like they miscast a lot of things, and having what's her face, Letitia Wright, graduate from a supporting role to a lead role just doesn't suit the character or her. It just doesn't,
Yeah, but Sean, she drank the purple liquid.
Oh, that's it. You're good.
So
you're good.
You don't need any martial arts training.
Plus, it's hard to figure out who the protagonist is.
Tactical, okay, now I'm.
Yeah, all of a sudden, but they even acknowledge she's not good in the field, and it's like she drinks the thing. Okay, yeah, she's strong now, but she could still get her ass beat. It's like.
Namor is stronger than
judo is physics. You can just put someone down. It's
literally Namor.
It's nothing to do with strength.
Namor almost killed Daredevil in one of the earlier where he came back, got the memories back. That's a great issue.
Yeah,
and Daredevil's dead, and the only reason Namor doesn't kill him is just like, I kind of feel bad that this guy fought so hard. He's like, I guess I won't kill him because this is outrageous. I can't just squash this guy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We keep going. You're not going to have anything to talk about tomorrow.
I know. Okay, so today we're doing the Great Outland movie with Sean Connery, or Sean Connery, however you want to.
It's Sean Connery, right, Sean?
Sean Connery. I'm just joking. And Battle Beyond the Stars. So we're going to do our normal versus method, which is space, story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. And instead of ranking those and getting a score for the movie, what we're going to do is we're going to say which one did it better, and we're going to figure out who wins at the end. Now, the tournament, let's take a look here before we get into that of everything that's happening. Okay, so this is the final 8 right here. Outland versus Battle Beyond the Stars. That will take on the winner of Forbidden World and Yor. And then that's going to be that side of the bracket. The other side's got Krull versus Space Hunter. We'll take on whoever wins between Star Crash and Space Raiders. So we decided to do this one first because, we're pretty sure what's happening with some of the other ones. But this one, I'm not sure. So what I did was I ranked, to make it easier for myself, the 8 movies that were left. I did my space rating, so my actual space rating.
Right.
and not thinking about the other movies. So I just did your SPACE, each one. What did I give it out of a 2? What's my score? Boom. Every movie in this tournament, there's 2 6s, and everything else is like 7, 7.5, 8. So this is, on paper, this is hard. It's not even like on paper. It's like I'm literally looking at the paper and it's like, then you start turning it like, maybe if I move it this way, it'll look better. You're just like, I don't know what to do here. So I can't even find my sheet here. Where are we here? So we're doing Battle Beyond and Outland. So it's these two. Okay. So on paper, I've got a winner. However, per category, it is so weird. So I'm gonna keep that off to the side, and we're gonna do this as normal. Let's do. So we're gonna do story first. Who wants to start? Who wants to kick it off? Does any volunteers to kick it off?
I'll start.
All right, Charlie's story, Outland.
I'll take the bullet first tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Outland, and it's based on what I said originally when we did Battle Beyond the Stars. It was, hey, you're going on a mission. Okay. Hey, follow me on this mission. Follow me on this mission. Like, it was the Wizard of Oz of space operas. There's cool stuff that happens in Battle Beyond the Stars. Don't get me wrong. But story-wise, Outland, hands down. I mean, it is literally a crime drama set in a sci-fi setting that is well done, well acted, and I can follow it. I love how it progresses story-wise. Everything makes sense. Nothing's like I have to just go, oh, okay, maybe if I don't pay attention to that, the rest of it makes sense. I know who the bad guy is. I know who the good guy is. They both have their weaknesses and strengths, and simple story's going to go to Outland for me on this one.
Okay. Was there anyone? Were all you guys here for Outland or Battle Beyond the Stars, or did someone miss something?
I wasn't here for Outland.
You weren't here for Outland? Okay, so I'm gonna leave you till the end then, Steve.
There you go.
I mean, you know what? I'll just go next. I think Outland. I think it's a bit more clear. Like I'm more like, yeah, it's Outland. I'll tell you why. There's a mystery that's unfolding in the first bit, which is like, what's happening? Like, I like the investigation. I like that the cop shows up and he's doing his job. You know, I just like that. Look, it's generic. Oh, it's the company, right? Like, but Battle Beyond the Stars is generic. Oh, Battle Beyond the Stars is a direct lift of Kurosawa. I don't. And yes, Outland is a lift of everything else, but not directly off of something.
Right.
Plus, Sean Connery investigating is cool, interacting with the doctor, and then you start seeing, hey, these guys, they're not with him now. It's like, what's going on? Then this villain comes in. He's like, okay, I'll just pay you off. There's a little bit with his family, which is cool too. I like Outland, man. I think it's like really solid. I think the story is for sure better. Like, not just I'm gonna pick Outland. I'm thinking, it's a better story. That simple. It's just simple. I like the mystery part in the beginning, and then there's cool action at the end.
Right.
Sean, what do you think?
It's like, it's a difference between like mystery and like a story where like characters kind of grow and learn something about themselves right before they die. But it's like, which one do you want? Like, which one do you like? Right. And it's funny because I feel like as I get older, like my taste, like I mean, I love both movies, but my taste kind of changed from like one sort of thing to another. I would have said maybe Battle Beyond Stars maybe 5 years ago, but I'm gonna go with Outland because it's like Battle Beyond Stars is awesome, but I think like the seriousness and also the importance and gravitas of the mystery in Outland really reels you in.
Mm-hmm.
And just like trying to figure it out, and when characters have a eureka moment, I kind of feel like I'm having a eureka moment too, right? So it's like I'm with them on it. Battle Beyond the Stars, as I said, I mean, characters like, hash out their problems, and I mean, you got like Robert Vaughn is a man punishing himself, and the Valkyrie woman is like, she has a set view on what life is, and then she sort of like gets reamed out for that by John Boy there. I can't remember his name, but
Right.
but yeah, it's like all sorts of cool stuff is happening there. I'd say because of that, it's a little bit unfocused compared to Outland. If you had to really compare the two, like this is murder, right? But like, I'd say Outland wins out.
Okay. All right. So Steve, you can, because you weren't here for Outland, you can go a bit more in depth if you want to, since you didn't have a chance.
Yeah. Okay. So Outland is my pick as well. It's more so because Battle Beyond the Stars is pretty much a lift and shift of the Seven Samurai Magnificent Seven storyline. Outland is trying to do something original. It's not like I find it somewhat generic. Like everything there's no real like, oh, aha moments for me. You're always going to get that one character who's, even though everyone seems corrupt, that one character who's still going to help, and it's the doctor in this case.
Right.
Connery's going to be the one solid guy who you can't buy off, that sort of thing. Even got to a point where Peter Boyle, the main villain, is playing golf in his office. Like, I'm like, okay, the stereotypical capitalist, win at all costs character. But it's trying to do something, and it's trying to be something, and even if the execution isn't where you think it should be, you got to give them points for trying. Not to disparage Battle Beyond the Stars, but it's pretty easy to take a template and just roll with it in a different setting, as opposed to trying to make something new. So I have to give it to Outland in that respect.
Okay.
Fair.
All right. Were all of you guys here for Battle Beyond the Stars or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we were all here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have. I'm super late. I have it on my screen, but I'm just too lazy to go back and like. Actually, like
I'm not gonna click it. No,
man, I gotta scroll. Man, I can't be scrolling around. I can't be scrolling and shit like that. It's like that's just irritating. All right, so let's go on to pacing here. Let me make sure I got my. Well, let's see. Who wants to kick it? Well, Steve, why don't you continue with pacing?
All right. So this one was tough for me because, Outland is a slow burn movie. It's designed to be a slow burn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's under 2 hours, so the fact that they did a slow burn movie in under 2 hours is pretty commendable.
Yeah.
Battle Beyond the Stars starts. Boom. Here's the villain. Boom. We gotta go on a mission. Boom. We're adventuring across the galaxy. In this case, I'm going to give it to Battle Beyond the Stars simply because there's a lot of burn in Outland, but it doesn't give me anything new for that burn. It doesn't give me anything new in the sense that nothing I haven't seen before. Battle Beyond the Stars also didn't give me something I didn't see before, literally, but it gave it to me in a new setting, right? And it seemed to go off on that breakneck pace where, in all actuality, could I cut something out of Outland? The thing with the family, I'm probably could get away with cutting, even though it is part of the story. I'm like, did I need this? Like, where did that lead? Battle Beyond the Stars is a completely knows what it is, and Outland has pictures of grandeur. I don't want to say delusions because I don't want to disparage it, but it's got this grand aspiration, but I don't think it hits just because it doesn't go anywhere that's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like even at the end when it's the the lieutenant's there and he's going to try and kill Connery. I'm like, yeah, I kind of knew this was going to happen, so I got to give it to Battle Beyond the Stars because both are paced well for what they're trying to achieve. I just think Battle Beyond the Stars achieves it better, and therefore the pacing follows suit.
Okay.
Fair.
All right. Sean, what do you think?
I was going to go with Outland. Both are well paced, both zip along well. I guess if I really had to pit the two, the only thing I noticed with Battle Beyond the Stars is that because they have so many characters to juggle, there's a whole section where they're just doing that. And I feel like with Outland, there is a very linear storytelling there where it's like, it's like solve the mystery. What, weird things are happening, solve the mystery. These guys are corrupt. Dudes are coming. It's and it all zips along really well. There's no real, I mean, there are clear cause and effects going on, and it's not like, oh, we gotta pick up this guy and this guy, right, and this other dude, and it just seems like better pace to me. Good pacing doesn't mean quick pacing. It just means that you're not missing, you're not taking out the movie and being like, okay, well, it's like you're thinking about like, what you're looking at kind of thing. But yeah, to me, it's by a narrow margin, it's Outland for pacing.
All right. Yeah, this is I was trying to go last on this one because it's tough. This is a really tough one. All right, Charlie, let's hear what you got to say, and let me see where I'm at.
Sean took the words out of my mouth, maybe not as eloquently as he did, but like you said, fast pacing doesn't make good pacing.
Right.
And while there's a lot going on in Battle Beyond the Stars, I feel like there's more I can cut from that movie to make it a little more cohesive than it is, because you're right, so much happens and then it's just meandering on, and I almost feel like it's just the same thing, different character, same thing, different space battle, same thing, different character. With Outland, like even the slow parts is building the story. So I need all of the interaction between the characters, especially Peter Boyle and Sean Connery. Those are some of my favorite scenes in the movie. Those two just going at each other. I do think the family needs to be stayed in there, because otherwise Sean Connery doesn't have this extra thing driving him. It doesn't show that he made a decision like, no, I have to do this, even if it costs me my family. And he's tortured by that. He keeps rewatching the video of his wife leaving and stuff like that. So you understand that he's always a man that tries to do the good thing. Sometimes the good thing isn't the right choice, even if it is the right choice without being the right choice. If you want to save your family, you go with the wife. If you're going to do the right thing and save lives, you stay where you're at. So you needed that back and forth that they had a little bit with the family on her. So I wouldn't cut that out. There was stuff I would cut out of Battle Beyond the Stars, though. So pacing, as far as well set, well done, is Outland for sure.
Yeah, this is tough. I don't think I would cut anything from Outland either. I like the idea that he's like, I like when the guy wants to just do good. Like, why did you become a cop if you're not wanting to do the right thing, right?
Yeah.
And doing the right thing, like, God, I think it's from everything that J-Man has learned in his life is learned from comics. There's a comic book with Superman.
You say that's like it's a bad thing, J-Man. Come on.
Where Jonathan, I think Jonathan Kent says, or so one of the guys says, is like, if it was easy, it wouldn't be a test, and it's like, that's the point, right? Like, it's like, well, I want you to come home. Okay, I'm going home. Well, then you're not a cop, right? Like, the point is that you're going to do the right thing, and the family's like, well, we need you to come with us. It's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I was thinking, I don't know if there's evidence for this in the movie. I was thinking that, like, Sean Connery towards the end's like, well, I gotta take these guys out, because what's going to stop them from coming after my family if they're not dead?
Right.
That's
true. I think we infer that because we watch action movies. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your family. I'm going to kill your dog.
Yeah.
Wipe them off the planet. So I get how you would infer that in the long run, he's protecting his family as well by doing this.
But yeah, I like the idea that it's like, look, I'm beginning. So, but anyways, so that's just for that. But I don't think, like, I mean, even Battle Beyond the Stars, there's nothing to cut out, really. It's just because of the nature of how that movie is. You're in that middle, not the middle, but the middle, the right before the big battles, where you're just like, there's like that section where you're like, yeah, what are they doing now? Like, because the battle, it's like they're not going to battle yet, but they've acquired everybody, and are they going to just have like a poker tournament or something like?
I'd call it trimming more than I would like cutting out. Like, just tighten things up is what I would do.
I'm never bored through. I actually like slow sci-fi, man, like Alien 1. if it's done well, slow sci-fi is my friggin' favorite.
Silent Running.
Oh, I like Silent Running.
Dude,
Yeah.
Andromeda Strain is like my top.
Yeah.
Like that's high quality excitement. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
he's the best. Like I get it. Shit, I don't know. I was thinking Battle Beyond the Stars. This is a bad one for me. I was thinking Battle Beyond the Stars because it's exciting, man. There's like a lot of cool shit going on. If I do that, then we're gonna tie that category. That feels like it's gonna be irritating. So I feel that this is already too tied. So I'll say Outland just because the majority went with Outland. But I'm gonna reserve.
Sorry, Steven.
I'm putting a star next to it.
That's fine.
Reserve the right to
we've set the rules that we can always change our votes later. We have set that. That is not impossible to happen here.
So now we're into artistry, which is again crazy because you've got this realistic, gritty space setting, which I like. The second Outland started, I'm like, oh man, I love this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got cool fantasy. So this whole tournament's awesome now because it's all like this the whole way.
We've cut the fat loose for the most part. We've cut the fat loose.
So I don't know if I like. It's almost like, is Battle Beyond the Stars a better fun fantasy looking kind of movie versus Outland is a realistic kind of looking movie? Who did it better with what they had? I think Outland for me. And if it was Outland artistry versus like what else is on this? What else do we have on here? What's another one on here? Like if it was Outland artistry versus like freaking like Space Hunter artistry, I'd say Space Hunter. You know what I mean? Which it's like in that case, I would go with the more crazier one, right? But I think with this one, I like the realistic one better. Battle Beyond the Stars is pretty cool though, man. And the characters are so we'll get to characters, but they look really neat. They're so unique. I don't know. I'm gonna have to I might have to put a star next to my choice in artistry.
I don't know. Do we do multiple asterisks
now?
Well, good lord, man, an asterisk.
Listen, I'm running this stream. Soylent Green. Soylent Green is awesome. Soylent Green is awesome.
Green, yeah.
I am hungry for Soylent Green though, so I don't know.
That's it.
All right, well, got one more. Cannot be reached. Outland. First way to use Intravision from projection. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
It works, and honestly, it still holds up when you watch it now too. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll take the asterisks off. I'll leave it at
okay.
All right. Let's go. Let's go, Sean.
Oh my god.
Oh, you said it.
My god.
I have so many clips now that it's hard to find me.
Oh my god.
Good stuff.
I had a few new ones that I added. I can't remember where they are now. I added a few new ones for the other stream the other day. And,
well, that art one was new because we had another art one.
Yeah,
I have a few. Well, Art the Clown has changed my life, so.
I think we used that last week, which was great because it came out of nowhere. I loved it.
Yeah,
that was good. Oh, I had that one too.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
I had a few other ones. Damn it, where are those other ones? I thought I had some. I'll look for them while.
All right. Well,
go for it.
While I agonize over. Well, I mean, it's a different because the two movies are different kinds of movies. It's the difference between like the imagination and like all over the map creativity of Battle Beyond the Stars versus Outland's gritty, more grounded take. Consistently, both music scores are great for different reasons.
Right.
One's epic and like like the Outland one is epic and everything. The Battle Beyond the Stars one is a Star Wars impression. That's awesome too. Boisterous and optimistic and all that stuff. But for art, the thing about Outland is that it looks they didn't shoot in some dude's warehouse like like another movie that was in this tournament, right? They made the sets, and when you look at, there's a lot of thought put into it. Like like everything looks not outlandish. Like at the time, everyone was trying to do Star Wars, right? And here they are making it like, what would these office and warehouse settings look like in space, right? And they have the clear plastic partitions, and they got the metal paneling. There you go, the metal paneling and all that stuff.
I love that one.
I like the golf thing because like that became a real thing, right? Where he's playing the fake golf and the ball hits the screen and it animates the thing. Hey, Clobby, what's up? That's all great. Battle Beyond the Stars is just like, let's put all these outlandish, like awesome designs, and like let's do the Lizard Man, and let's do the Hive Mind guy, and let's the Valkyries, get a hot chick, and and all that's cool. The boob ship and all that stuff is awesome, and all the imagination and thought put into that too. Like she's motherly and everything, and she's like, I'm your home now, and all that stuff. But I feel like there's a bit more focus and concentration when you have to make it all consistent and grounded like they do in Outland. So I'm gonna go with Outland on this. I think it's a kind of a tougher job. Because hell, like if you told me do a crazy space movie in the vein of Star Wars, yeah, I'd do all sorts of awesome things too, right? Probably within an hour. I'm just like put all these designs together. But like Outland is the bigger job, I think. So I'm gonna go with Outland on art.
All right. We'll give Clobby slow. I'll give you this one. That's more of a goodbye, but
it's a hello to Clobby.
It's a hello to Clobby, and he'll be joining us tomorrow night. I already posted.
He's probably all talked out about this, but yeah.
No. We have to apologize to Bill Everett. I can guarantee you that we're going to be the only channel apologizing to Bill
talking
Everett.
About, but yeah, no, God, I felt bad for him watching the movie.
I effing felt
he's like
not good.
tossing and turning in his grave. Anyway.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy, boy. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we got. Well, let's go, Charlie. What do you think?
Gallagher as well? Yes.
So this was, Gallagher died. That sucks, but this was difficult for me too because it's two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
You got serious, but I feel like I'm there in Outland. And then you have like the high adventure serial style sci-fi, what I expect in a spaceship movie adventure. And both are perfect as far as what they set out to do. This would be my tie in space. I would have to say this, if I was breaking them down, this is where they would tie flat out.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a page from what you guys are going with. I'm going to take the one that I connect better with, which was Outland. It felt real to me. It's what space travel is gonna be like. They talk about missions to Mars. They talk, we're not going to be wearing the silver suits. We're not going to be wearing this. We're going to be wearing generic clothes, and especially if you're a mining colony or anything like that, that's what you're going to be wearing. Space isn't colorful. It's not Flash Gordon. It's really not. We don't live in that kind of universe. But to just put it over, if I just want to have fun with what I'm going to say, is what movie had more head exploding? And that's Outland. And I still love all of the head pops in Outland.
Yes.
So that's my pick for artistry, because that's it, man. The scanner's head pop in that inside spacesuits. I love it. And that's not taken away from Battle Beyond the Stars. It's a beautiful movie, creativity out the yin yang. How many movies did we do that used, not copied, used this movie in theirs? Yes, Roger Corman does it himself, but there's even non-Roger Cormans that did it. So you have to give it some credit for that everyone's like, damn, they did great shit. Let's just keep using it. But Outland, man, I can't not go with that.
All right. Steve, where are you at? Battle or Outland? Are you a Battle Beyond the Stars?
It's not even a contest for me. It's Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh,
I'm actually shocked but by the panel's love for Outland. It's a 3 out of 5 movie. It's a solid mystery.
Can't argue with a confident man.
It's a solid mystery genre film.
Steve's like, what is happening here?
Yeah, but Battle Beyond the Stars, like,
is this
like
what stream is this?
Outland is a, hey, that Outland movie was pretty cool for a mystery on a space station. Battle Beyond the Stars intrigues you to join the genre. It shows a love for space fantasy that Outland doesn't have.
Okay, that's it. You know who I have right here? Sean Connery. Come over here and tell us.
Steve, you're wrong.
I'm pulling a Marshall McLuhan, freaking Woody Allen. Come over here.
I'm a little bit surprised at the love that Outland's given, because Battle Beyond the Stars has an epic score. All due respect to Jerry Goldsmith, he's one of the top 3 composers in music, but I didn't. The Outland score didn't do anything for me. I love the epicness of it. I love the spaceships. I love the creativity. I love pretty much everything visually about Battle Beyond the Stars. Outland is a very solid movie, and you're right. It's very realistic. It looks good for what it's doing, but it's not trying to do anything. It's not opening up the imagination, which Battle Beyond the Stars does. And I got to give it, like, it's the difference between trying to run The Office versus trying to run the country. Battle Beyond the Stars is opening up the genre. Outland is just trying to stay in the self-contained mystery, in a mystery genre on a space station. That's all it's trying to do, and that's fine. It is what it is. They got Sean Connery, great for them. It's a solid 3 out of 5 for me. I don't dislike it, but Battle Beyond the Stars, I watched it and I went, wow, look at the ability of the human imagination when you open it up. Yeah, the storyline's 7 samurai, whatever, but like the creativity behind it is the entire point of the movie. So to me, Battle Beyond the Stars is hands down artistry.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was just going to say, to be fair, I did say they tied.
Yeah,
and I have to pick one.
Oh, yeah.
I said this in the Outland episode. I'm always going to lean more towards the more realistic and the action movie, if you will, because that's kind of what Outland is. You know, so that you're not wrong at all. And it seems kind of weird that we would pick it over the the grandness of the creativity of Battle Beyond the Stars. And it's where I can't compare the movies to each other.
Right.
You have to look at this one. Did I like what they did here more than I liked what they did over here?
Yep.
Absolutely. And Sean Connery probably would have voted for The Ship with Tits. I mean, that's just, I'm just saying, even he would be like, I like that ship with
tits. Jesus Christ. We got a war going on down here. We can't find the damn thing.
Oh my God. The thing is, okay, let's see what Clive says. I'm gonna stars 5 times. Whoa!
Wow.
Would have been more if we're going to Silver Strikes Back. Wow, Outland 1 and done. Oh no, Outland Stars is far superior. Oh my gosh! You know the thing is, I pieced it as usual. I've solved the mystery. I've pieced it all together. The thing is that this is where I have seen so many of these.
Yeah.
That Battle Beyond the Stars is like, oh, another cool sci-fi movie.
Right.
And I don't think Steve has seen as many as I have. So he's watching Battle Beyond the Stars like, holy shit, this is the damn best ever.
It's the reaction we had when we saw it. But
we saw it, right.
I think you're right, J-Man, because I've got so many of these kinds of movies. It's like
even in this tournament, look how many of these are so similar. Like one of these was going to have to go up against Outland. We said from the get-go, Outland was going to be that more difficult movie to compare to others.
Right.
If anything, and we weren't curating it, which I still love that we're not doing it, I would have put Outland up against Space Raiders.
Well, it's like when you guys are blown away by Space Raiders, I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like,
right. Oh, yeah.
Because like some of you weren't familiar with it.
No, it was my first watching. It blew me away. I loved it. But when I look back at it, I go, man, it's not as colorful as all the other space ones. It's very like realistic, even though they have the kid aspect in it. I could still line that up better with Outland, and honestly, it would have been a more difficult decision for me. But I also look at it like I think Space Raiders would have kicked Battle Beyond the Stars' ass because it would have done better things for me than Battle Beyond the Stars. You know, that's just my take on it personally.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is for me. I call it the Jurassic Park syndrome, where everyone's like Jurassic Park. Oh my god, hey Josh, how's it going? It's like, oh my god, Jurassic Park, great, you got to watch this. And I watch them like, yeah, this is whatever. It's like I watch Godzilla movies, like Godzilla movies. That's just a guy in a suit. I'm like, but I don't see it that way.
Right.
I see the artistry. I love Godzilla. We go through all of them.
Wow, what a comment! Holy shit.
Josh, buddy, I didn't hear that one. I got to find something for you. Hold on.
Somebody screenshot that.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. I'm giving you the big shout out. This is a big shout out, buddy. That's it.
Wow.
Oh man, I sat up all night trying to think of funny things. I couldn't come up. I know there's Wakanda Forever, and Clobby's already said that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's Clobby. You had that one, so I'm not gonna steal it from you. I was trying to think, what could I do? And I couldn't come up with anything, so then I just said, forget it. I'll let other people do it. But Josh, that is my.
I haven't even seen the movie, and that told me everything I need to know right there.
That is exactly
it. Title, man. Submit that to Disney now.
Oh,
let's get that copyrighted.
That literally took me out of. I don't even know what. We were saying.
Now, what were we talking about again?
Jurassic Park.
No.
I love Godzilla. We watch them all the time. I've seen each one minimum 5 to 10 times easy, right? Like, and my wife has not seen them all. We're 3 away now. We've been doing one every weekend. We're 3 away, so she's going to see them all now. She loves them all. And she's like, well, when are the cheesy ones coming up? I'm like, we've already watched them.
You just saw them, yeah. You saw Mechagodzilla and all that, right? You saw Gigan, right?
We saw Gigan. Last weekend was Gigan. And she's like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. That was pretty cool. I was like, I know.
With the theme park and the Godzilla statue that like breathes fire. She thought that was, yeah.
No, she liked everything. She's like, that was really cool. She's like all of them. Now we haven't done Revenge, and we haven't done what's it called, Megalon, and then we've got one more to do. I can't remember the other, but I've got them like on a list because we've been watching them in whatever order.
Right.
And I was like, no, we watched.
I can't remember, J-Man. Did they explain why the aliens made a Godzilla theme park or no? I can't remember when. They make a Godzilla theme park to fight Godzilla. And there's a big Godzilla building, and then the Godzilla building shoots.
That's what you do to fight Godzilla.
It's like it's awesome.
It's for profit, man. It's for profit. It's the underpants gnomes. First, we build Godzilla theme park. Second, I don't know. Third, profit. That's how we do it.
It's like that robot chicken sketch with the white Michael Jackson and the one alien. I don't know how we're supposed to take over the world with the white Michael Jackson.
Gotta make him white. You need him not white. Remember from Richard Pryor was blind and he thought he was white this whole time.
Yeah,
oh my God! And he's like all destroyed.
Oh yeah.
That in his speech at the freaking, he was the doctor.
I'm using that. That is funny.
He's a doctor. We're asking him.
God. Oh geez, you guys keep killing me here. Electric Boogaloo. See, cannot. I mean, dude, you know that one's come on. We know that.
I'm trying to move away from that now to like cruise control and stuff.
Because I actually like Electric
Back in Training,
though, which is funny.
Maverick.
I like Back in Training as well. There's my part 4.
Please, Kami. They'll never remake those movies.
No,
ever.
They can't.
It's just too.
There's no way.
Too problematic now, man. It's the Blue Pearl alone.
Oh, worse than Eternal. We're gonna have to do a versus on which is the worst one.
We could do a versus. Eternals versus Wakanda Forever. Oh my God.
I think the problem is if you ask a generic person, they're gonna say Eternals because that was boring beyond hell.
Yeah.
They're not gonna think of the ruination of characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my Namor shelf right there.
Yeah.
I've got butts. I have one of those wooden carve-outs that they did this. I've got Cyclops. I've got Banshee. They did wooden carve-outs and painted roughly. Dark Horse did these, and they came in these amazing tins. They're super limited. I got Namor. I got the bust of that. I got a page, a color guide page from those are one-offs, color guides. I got a color guide page from a Namor book. I've got big premiere issue, All Tales to Astonish, Golden Age hardcovers. Like,
yeah, having all the Tales to Astonish is crazy.
Fucking
man.
awesome.
You can't do that now.
Oh, no way. That was a hardcore. I'm like, I must get all these. And it started from the essentials.
You can't be finicky with the conditions either, because it.
Yeah. Oh, my first appearance, Namor and Tales to Astonish, was like cost me $20.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I'm reading in my.
Yeah, it's when.
Please, if you're gonna watch one video of mine, please watch the Namor Sucks video. I did not laugh at all during it. I did laugh a little bit during my She-Hulk one where I was trying to be sarcastic. I didn't laugh at all. I got through the whole thing without laughing on one take. I'm very proud of myself in that video.
There you go.
I did not laugh. I was so good. And my wife was thinking, "Are you being serious?" I was like, "No, I'm not being serious. It's awful." I was like, "All right, guys." Yeah, oh God, the KKK. That's just so stupid. They call him Kukulkan. They call him Who Cares?
You know, Winston Duke is having a lot of fun in that movie.
I know, he's awesome, but he's silent because it's the Real Housewives of Wakanda.
Yeah.
All right, characters. I'll start. This time around, it's Battle Beyond the Stars. If I was to vote against Sybil Danning, I'd have to commit suicide. I can't. Like, I'll say there's better characters in Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf than 12 Angry Men.
Wow.
Because Sybil Danning is in it. I cannot, like, Reform School Girls, it has the best characters of all. I can't go against Sybil Danning. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what movie it is. There is one movie, if it happens to be Battle Beyond the Stars versus Star Crash, I might have to commit suicide. I might have to be sick on. I'll just be sick on that day.
That's the only one he misses on.
Yeah, you'll miss it.
I'll miss that one. Yeah, you guys. I'll just set the stream up and you can do it.
Just click the buttons, but don't have your headphone on.
No, Battle Beyond the Stars, man. There's so many cool characters. I like everybody. Robert Vaughn is freaking like awesome. The girls are all really cute. I like the way they all come together to do different things. Valkyrie is a cool character. I think she is a good character. Obviously, Picard is awesome. He's a great character. There's just too many of them. Even if they're not an amazing character, they still look cool and I feel interested in them. Like, we're playing Spelljammer right now. Oh, yeah, sorry, Sean, I killed your character off in Spelljammer.
Oh, all right.
And Jason laughed. I'll talk to you next time we meet. I'll talk to you privately. Jason cried laughing. He's like, "Is Sean coming back on Spelljammer?" I was like, "No, Sean's not coming back for a while." And then at the end, I had your character get killed in a scuffle. And he was laughing. He's like, "I thought he was going to be torn apart." It's like, this is what happened. You miss one D&D session with me, your character's dead. I was like, "You're only level 2. I needed something dramatic." I'm like, "You can build another guy when you come back." All right. Anyways, so yeah, no characters. I'm on Battle Beyond the Stars. Steve, let's continue your Battle Beyond the Stars love and your just.
He went for Outland. He's now going, "Damn it, guys! This was the one time I go Outland."
Are you going Outland? I'll be very disappointed. Let me get something ready just in case.
Do it. Do it.
It's Battle Beyond the Stars.
Okay.
Damn it!
Well, I'm playing it anyway.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
The music score is way too good for that movie.
I know.
It's like it twirls with the gun. It's like, what the hell?
I saw Mexican Iron Man. I had to turn it off because it was so loud, and my wife's like, "What is happening?" I'm like, "I'll listen to this after." Oh my god! All right, Steve. So Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah, it's got a lot of colorful characters, very memorable characters. To your point, I'm interested in each one. you know, and they're all unique. Sean Connery's awesome because he's Sean Connery. Peter Boyle is great because he's actually the guy I was most interested in was the James B. Seeking character who dies halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
I was actually most interested in him. I was like, this guy's awesome. Like, he's rocking the beard. He's playing, you know, the racquetball. Like, this guy's great. And then he dies. I'm like, well, that kind of sucked. Mm-hmm. But there's just too many characters in Outland who are there. They're fine. They're not offensive, but they're there. I feel like I would follow the individual spin-off stories of any of the characters in Battle Beyond the Stars. I can't say that for Outland. So, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Charlie?
You know, normally this would be where Charlie just wants to be a dick, and I just keep saying the same movie because that's what I want to do. But no, this is it has to go to Battle Beyond the Stars, because just like what Steven said, it's up against just Sean Connery and Peter Boyle in Outland.
Yeah,
everyone else can be interchanged with him, and I do agree. I think his subordinate, his partner, whatever you want to call him, in the movie of Outland would have been awesome if they hadn't killed him off so freaking fast. Even some of the one main villain he locks up that gets killed out, you know, as soon as he goes back to the jail cell. I actually like that character. Yeah. But other than Sean Connery and Peter Boyle, now that actually makes it tough because I love everything they do in Outland, though. I love their interaction back and forth. You know, you're thinking simply Peter Boyle would just wait for Sean Connery to walk in the office and he'd shoot him. You know, but it's not going to go that route. I love the back and forth. It's like they're playing chess, and I enjoyed it. But Battle Beyond the Stars, the cavalcade of characters are just amazing. They're colorful. I enjoy each one as they pop up, even though sometimes it takes forever for them to pop up. And then I'm like, okay, we're all together now, and we're here. And if I am going to knock Sean Connery off something for characters, it has to be George Papard. You know, I have to let Hannibal get ahead of, you know, Sean Connery a little bit, you know, because I love it when a plan comes together. And he almost says it in the movie when they're doing the thing on the planet. You're just like, say it, say the thing. But this is going to be the one that I would have to give to Battle Beyond the Stars.
All right, Sean.
Well, it's Battle Beyond the Stars, right? It's Sean Connery versus the cast of Battle Beyond the Stars. It's like, you know, one man, and he almost wins, but not, you know, just being himself. No, it's Battle Beyond the Stars because that movie is more character based, anyways. It really hinges on the character arcs and everything. So, I mean, those characters have to be like better realized and you know, and drawn than Outland. Outland's about the mystery and everything, so it's not really about the characters. You know, but there's more personality and life to a lot of those characters in Battle Beyond the Stars. We all talked about George Papard and the Hive Mind guy and freaking the Valkyrie woman and, you know, and even the ship, you know. So the ship.
I love
awesome.
the ship. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give it a Battle Beyond the Stars, of course.
Okay, well, I mean, Outland's already won technically.
Yeah.
So Steve's upset. No.
But if we hear the disappointment in Steve's voice, you guys, I don't know. It's like, this is crazy. I missed a couple of tournaments, and it all went upside down.
This tournament was kind of built around Battle Beyond the Stars. Like, it's the kind of movie that, like, we thought
this tournament.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Just like we're passing through history. It's like the arc is history.
This is this genre.
Genre. How can this lose?
Yeah.
This is
like,
the genre.
Like subpar but awesome sci-fi movies that were filling up the theaters at the time.
Yeah.
You know.
And Clobberin Times saw it
5 times.
Right. Now, Sean, I know you've been commenting through YouTube. Has anyone else looked? Because I've got the poll results are crazy. There's 8 votes. It's 50-50.
Oh, wow.
So we're not crazy here, man. I mean, you know, it's not like we're sitting here like, you know, Kroll and Yor, but, you know, where everyone's hating us. It's at least, you know, like people understand why one's good, why one might be a little bit better. either way. I like that. I like when it's divided like that.
And for the record, J-Man killed ice pirates not once but twice.
Yeah.
This is true.
Listen, and the other thing too is like don't talk to me about because you don't want to know where your ranks on you don't want to know where
I've already said what I think my final 2 is, and it's going to be an impossible decision. So
it's going to be impossible. Yeah, recount. Hey, what's going on?
Recount.
Clobby ain't having it, man.
I'll take another 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're Georgia. We're gonna have a runoff next month, and we're gonna get it all figured out. Sorry, that's an American thing for whoever.
Yeah, we don't understand recounts here. It just gets counted in that one election night for us. We don't understand what's going on over there, but.
We don't either, Sean. It's totally fine. We got no clue what we're doing.
It just happens in one night, guys. Like
look,
everyone else can do this.
I have said this for years. Here's how we fix the American, election system. We do the American Idol call-in. You dial a number, you hit 5 for your candidate, and that's how we tally they have those votes tallied in like 10 minutes. Come on.
Here's the this is the Canadian this is the Canadian this is how we vote here in Canada.
We can't do anything by working with each other.
Did you do that after the review thing?
I love that movie. I thought I was the only I had the VHS of that too.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only person that loved that movie. I would
Dude, I watch that all the time.
Yeah.
I rented that. I was at Woolworth or maybe it was Towers, and they had I think Towers had a rental section, and they had a Garbage Pail Kids movie. I was like, there's a Garbage Pail Kids movie? Oh my God. So I rented the movie, and then I was watching Mighty Mouse in one of those sit-in screens where you sit in front of quarters. Yeah. So I was like, my grandfather was like, okay, here, watch Mighty Mouse while we go shop. And I was like, can I rent something? He's like, yeah. So I rented Garbage Pail Kids, and I was so excited. And then I came home, and I thought, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I got a bit older and it came out on DVD. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but I must own this DVD. And I own the VHS tape as well. I'm sorry. I saw the movie and I thought this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Then I found it at a flea market on VHS and I'm like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen, but I must own this. And then it came out on DVD. I'm like, I must own this DVD. Then it came out on collector's edition Blu-ray. I was like, I'm not going to do that because it was expensive. Now it's really expensive. I wish I would have gotten it.
It's real expensive.
It's real expensive. Now it's like $200 or something. But I've watched it. Like I love the Garbage Pail Kids movie. Now after I learned how awesome it was, and Tangerine, it's like the weird. And I watched the review and I thought that was weird too. I'm like,
I didn't know she was so young.
She's so hypersexualized, and she's like 14 or something. You're like, it's just, I crossed my heart, and you're like, what is happening? And you're like, oh, okay.
I begged my parents for months to let me watch that movie. My mom was against it. She knew what Garbage Pail Kids were from the cards, and it's like, no. And then one day, Mom wasn't home, and Dad's like, let's go rent movies. I want this one. It's PG, is in the kids section. Dad's like, go ahead. Oh man, my mom was pissed for like a week. I could have watched any action movie with any boobs and gore in it, not Garbage Pail Kids. When I was there.
I know. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh my God.
Well, it's just we all knew the cards, and so when I saw the TV spots, your imagination reels. It's like how. It's like, what's going to be in this movie? It's going to be awesome, And even when I watched it, I didn't think it was trash. I thought it was awesome.
No, but it's terrifying as all get out, though, when you watch it. When you're watching it as a kid, like, you're like, shit, they're real. Like, they're not like cartoony. They're not, like bright colors. One of them's a freaking alligator.
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 Eat toes or whatever,
eat toes or feet or something like that. And I was just,
so
as a kid, you're just like, I maybe should have listened to Mom. It's just one of those moments. But now I love it. I haven't. It's one of those I haven't sprung on my kids yet They don't really know Garbage Pail Kids other than maybe a passing thing. Like I know we're on another tangent. I think I got them put up. They still release Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
They're doing they're called the book version. I don't know where my box is. Anyway, so they take like books and they've garbage pailed them. Well, I got one that's called like Necroron, and it's the Necronomicon face. And I was like, that was worth it for the box. I went ahead and got that.
That's
but
cool.
Awesome. I still love Garbage Pail.
I just love that they made it. It's like these the Topps trading cards movies are like a very small niche. It's like Mars Attacks and Garbage Pail Kids. I'm trying to think of something else. I don't know.
I don't know. I want Dinosaurs Attack or whatever.
Yeah, they never made that.
They needed to do that. I mean, we got Carnosaur. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
But I would have loved Dinosaurs Attack.
Yeah.
Who did the wacky cards? Those wacky cards.
That's them as well. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of those, but
A Real American Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. Yeah.
G.I. Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
I like those.
The books are good.
I only have
where they collect all the cards and stuff.
Yeah, I've got Mars Attacks.
Yeah,
on digital.
Where you can just get all the artwork.
They're great.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought Mars Attacks on digital. It's really cool with the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
It gives you both sides of the cards and everything because it's got the story behind it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So Outland is the winner, but let's make it official. Let's do the enjoyment factor. So this could just be any reason you want. I already know Steve and Charlie. Where they're at. So
look at that. We just got put in a box, Steven.
I know. What the hell?
Jesus.
I said shut up. I apologize for not realizing you are deaf.
Sorry, that's my buddy Avon, who's like my hero. Yeah, he's awesome. Okay, so let's go with Charlie then. You can say which one do you like better, Charlie?
Outland.
Hey,
that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Outland.
Outland. All right. You never got a wacky. We never got a wacky packy thing. Yeah, they'll make a movie at some point, and then it won't be anything like the cards, and it'll just be a name only. And then we'll bitch about it on the stream, so that'll be fun.
There we go. More content for the stream.
There's endless literally, Steve, just give me a second, Steve. Literally this morning, I was thinking, I never want to cover any of this stuff ever again because it just angers me and it's like upsetting. I thought I just want to go and do simple things like, whatever. Like, look, Steve and I both have these cool set of DC coasters. Let's do a stream about that and see how cool they are. and then we'll but like, because everything sucks. There's nothing to talk about. Like, people at my work are like, "Did you go see Black Panther 2?" It's like, it's trash, guys. Why are we pretending it's not? It's going to be good. It's like, well, maybe it'll be just as good as Eternals. Yeah. It will be. It's awful.
That tells you everything about that fan base right there.
Yeah, all of these people, it's like it's sheep. They're all like, yeah, I like these Marvel movies. It's like, you don't give a crap about anything.
I was thinking about this during the 2 hours and 40 minutes while I was watching the
41.
Because I was like
41 and 7 seconds.
It's one of these things. It's the double-edged sword of being mainstream, right? It's like you want this stuff to be more known and everything. But then at the same time, when you have it, you're like, why did I want this? Because I do want more of it, and you love this stuff. But the problem is, it gets taken away from you, right? Mm-hmm. And like the whole not recasting T'Challa. That's because a mainstream audience out there lionized and put on a pedestal Chadwick Boseman, not understanding that he was playing a character that had been in continuous publication for 52 years up to that point. And it's like, he's a character. It's like, so you're killing the character because the guy died? And you ask a bunch of people and they're giving you all these answers, and all the answers are wrong because
they're wrong.
It's like they're wrong. It's like, this is a character, guys. It's like you can recast it and tell more adventures with this character. Are you inspired by this heroic black character? Then tell more stories with it. Don't kill him. But the thing is, you have no say anymore. You've been a fan of this for decades.
Right.
You grew up with it. It's a childhood favorite, and now it's being taken away. If you feel like it's being taken away from you, you've always wanted to see a movie with this guy. You got one, and the general public at large that didn't grow up with this thing and didn't have a love affair with this character all these years, and supported all these years, wants to kill him because of their own weird reasons, and now you suffer. That's the problem with all this stuff being out there like this. I kind of want the genie to go back in the bottle with comic book movies.
Our fandom is a Pandora's box. We have carried this box around for so long, wanting what was us only knowing what's in there, but wanting it out to be popular. So we're not the minority anymore. We're not the getting made fun of because we read comics and we want to see these. But once it's out and it's making money, it's about making money and to keep the new plebs happy. They don't give a shit about us. They laugh at, I mean, come on, at the end of the She-Hulk thing, I haven't even watched the series. They literally make fun of every streamer that made fun of She-Hulk as it went. So that's it right there. That's already where we know, like, we can bitch about it, but they don't care and it's not going to change.
Well, and I agree with that. Like, I'm now approaching them like they're the Terminator. You can't reason with them. You can't bargain with them. You can't, like,
that's it.
Like, it doesn't even matter what their opinion is anymore. Like, they're like, do you want to know my opinion on Wakanda Forever? I'm like, no, not really. I don't care. Because I can tell you what your opinion will be. It'll be a 10 out of 10. And it will be because of nonsense. And you don't care about the character itself. And you just care about the social politics behind it, which no one gives a shit about. Right. Like, this is what I've suddenly come into understanding of, is all of this crap. And there was a YouTuber who put it in great perspective for me, where she said, everyone wants the exception to be the mainstream. And that doesn't work that way. It just, it doesn't work. And it has nothing to do with anything other than, that's how human beings operate. Period. That's just it. It's like Darwinism. It's survival to fittest. That's it. Does it suck? Hell yes.
Yeah.
You know, but that's how it works. And it's the same here. Like, these guys want to talk about, oh, you know, this and that. They want to make it their thing. And it's not their thing. It never was meant to be their thing. And never will be their thing. So you can have your thing, but your thing is not the thing. And I don't want to talk about it other than it's what it's supposed to be. So if you guys aren't going to approach it in that manner, that's cool. But I don't want to talk to you about it. I don't care. Like, have your Rudy Poo opinion. The thing that sucks, though, is the so-called people who were comic book people, and Jay and Sean know exactly who I'm talking about, falling in line with this. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
They need to be beaten up.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I verbally destroy anyone who tells me this movie is good. I don't care who they are. I'm waiting for a run in on Monday when I come into work, because there'll be people like, oh, and you know what though? I gotta tell you, there's a couple of people, at least at my work, there's at least like 15 people that are like, oh, there's a few of them, and there's two guys. I'm always saying this because it does matter. They're Indian, and they watch Bollywood movies and all that stuff too, right? And they are only watching the MCU movies and shows. They don't know anything else. They don't like anything after Endgame. They're like, I don't like it. Some of them like Doctor Strange, because I did like that one too. A couple like Spider-Man and stuff. There's some good ones right here and there. But they're like, I don't like this, and they're saying all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's like they're actually being right without knowing it. So even though the sheep are out there, the sheep should, like on Black Panther, they really should be falling in line with us on this one. Like, they're like, but I liked Black Panther. How come he's not in it? Like, these guys are used to exciting movies, Bollywood movies. So you like them or you don't like them. They're exciting. They're character driven, big pieces. Every time someone shows up, there's a big pumped up scene where here comes the hero. And that's why it's important that I said that they're Indian, because they watch Bollywood movies. And they're like, I'm just not excited. I'm like, right. You're not excited.
Well, that's what the RRR movie blew up this past summer. And it's funny because I was like, yeah, guys, that's every Tamil movie. It's great that you discovered it with this movie, but that's every freaking. It's like, like we had a friend that turned us on to that stuff a while ago, and it's like,
way back in the
and
day.
all of those, like I have Mutu and all that, like all those
Mutu's
Rajat movies are like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, he does like a cool thing.
I'm gonna.
He can't even put a cigarette in his mouth without like flaming in the air and like like landing in his mouth.
I used to do something cool with my glasses, but I'm like, if I drop these, I'm screwed. Like I'm trying to do this glasses thing.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll hash this out tomorrow. It's gonna be good tomorrow, guys. Make sure everyone joins us there. Okay, so Steve, which one do you enjoy more? You like Battle Beyond the Stars a bit more? I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, Battle Beyond the Stars. It's more my jam, right? Like I enjoy mystery movies. I love a great mystery movie, but for what both movies were trying to do, Battle Beyond the Stars just intrigued me more, and I enjoyed it more. That's it.
All right, Sean.
In terms of popping something in and watching it, right now it's a toss-up because I've been watching Outland a few times over the past few weeks, because of this tournament. So, and it used to be that I would just pop in Battle Beyond the Stars, right? I'm gonna go with Outland because the thing is that, like, the problem is I've seen Battle Beyond the Stars a million times. Like I was thinking today about like with Kevin Conroy passing, I actually haven't revisited Batman the Animated Series since it came out, and the reason why is because I watch it so much, it's still fresh in my mind. Like I don't really feel the need to revisit it. I know everything almost off by heart, and now I'm gonna now I feel like watching it after all these years. But it's the same thing with Battle Beyond the Stars. I've seen it so many times that it's like. I haven't seen Outland as many times, so I feel a pull towards watching that, so I'll say Outland.
Okay,
feel the dark side over here.
Yeah, I really enjoy both. I mean, this is like really just like whatever I'm in the mood for at the time. I'm probably gonna say Battle Beyond the Stars. The reason is that I think that Outland is a better movie than Battle Beyond the Stars, but I think Battle Beyond the Stars is a more fun movie to watch. It's got a lot of cool characters, got ship battles, it's got standing.
That's fair.
It's like there's certain films like I think 2001: A Space Odyssey is probably for me the best film ever made. But my favorite movie is Conan the Barbarian with Schwarzenegger. And 2001 is not something that you can continuously watch, right? It's an investment. You watch it and you're like, whoa, it's like you're drained by the end of it. It is very slow, but it's got an epic conclusion. There's a lot of hidden meaning in it, all that stuff. So that's not something that you just be like, oh yeah, let's pop that sucker in. I think Outland is a little bit like that, where you're like, I've got to be in the mood to go to that station on Jupiter or whatever and find that mystery again. And sometimes it's good to, I know you're going to remember the mystery, but sometimes it's good to forget a couple of things and go back.
Yeah.
You know, like what did I just watched the other day that I hadn't seen? Chinatown. Perfect. You cannot get a better example of this. Last time I saw Chinatown, back in school, right? So it'd been like 20 years. I was like, you know what? I got to rewatch that again. So I got the Blu-ray and I got the 2 Jakes as well. So I watched it again. I'm like, oh man, this movie is awesome. But I've forgotten so many of the intricacies. I remember her like, okay, at the end, everyone knows the ending, but I didn't remember all the intricacies. You know what I mean? And for me, it was like, oh, this is like almost like brand new. You know, so you get to discover it again. And Chinatown's like that. It's not something that's like, hey, let's pop in Chinatown. It's like, like that's not going to happen. Right? Like now 12 Angry Men, I've seen a million times. I could pop that in right now because it's a character thing. I know I know that they're even when that movie started, 10 minutes into 12 Angry Men, I'm like, oh, they're all going to say he's not guilty. Henry Fonda has to convince them. Like, I'm not an idiot. I've seen movies, but it's how he does it and the characters talking.
Right.
The evolution of the characters through the conversation.
Right. Perfect. That's exactly that, Steve.
But
That's
I
mean.
watched Reservoir Dogs again.
Reservoir Dogs is an example too.
Basically
because,
the same kind of thing. It's a lot of story-driven characters talking with a little bit of stuff interspersed in of the action. But I can watch Reservoir Dogs constantly. It's one of my favorite Tarantinos. Yeah.
And you know how it's going to end. Like, this isn't so big, like, wow, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it was never, ever this, oh my God, it's Mr. Orange. It's never that at all. The ear cutting is more shocking than the reveal of the movie. But what helps Outland, though, in this, to go back to that, is it's a sub 2 hour movie, though.
Yeah.
You're not like going, man, I got to invest 2 hours and 15 minutes into this thing, 90 plus. This is still like, I can like Sean, I've actually played Outland a few times. I can just have it on in the background while I'm working in the shop. Yeah. And no matter where I turn around, I'm like, oh, this is a cool part. And then I can go back to what I'm doing. So it still just has this ability to where I'm still enjoying it. I can follow it as it goes. And, it's not drug out as much.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect.
And again, like we talked about, these are super close in their rankings. Enjoyment. It is still fun to watch Battle Beyond the Stars. It is still a fun space adventure movie. It's kind of what you're in the mood for. And this week we were in the mood for Outland. So that's how that works.
Yeah. For some reason, Outland got me more interested for some reason in my Brave Star collection. So I've been watching. I like these Western, like, assign a sheriff into an area. We're having some problem here. And then they come and it's like, what seems to be the problem here? And then they have to figure things. I love that shit, man.
Everyone likes Brave Star. It's right down there, right next
Brave
to
Star's the best, man. People don't like that cartoon for some reason. I liked it as a kid.
Love Brave Star.
There's a lot of. We gotta do a stream on
Native American hero.
Shit, yeah. No, we gotta do a stream on things you didn't know everyone hated. It's like, I remember when
it's a long stream.
Like Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
I didn't know people didn't like that movie till way later.
That's a lie. Anyone who says
people didn't like that movie.
I know, but they're lying.
That sounds like a rumor. Someone wrote that on a bathroom wall.
That's our Christmas movie this year. So spoiler alert, we're doing Die Hard 2 for Christmas.
Nice.
No, I mean, Temple of Doom was my absolute. I died.
I never understood how someone said that they didn't like that. Like, it's always Raiders. Yeah. I'm like, I grew up on Temple of Doom. That was my Indiana Jones. I watched all the damn time. And then I found out that there's this thing, like, it's not considered the best Indiana Jones. And I'm like, where are these people from? I don't understand.
Spielberg himself said he didn't like it.
Why?
Doesn't like it, yeah.
Well, Spielberg didn't like it because look what he did to Crystal Skull. Anyway, that look what they're trying to do to number 5.
They're making number 5, number 2. No, I remember I was talking to my buddy Jay, and we're like Temple of Doom boys, right? We're like, oh yeah, I saw Temple of Doom first, and then I saw Raiders. So I saw them in timeline order, but not in release order. But in the timeline, Temple of Doom is a prequel, so I did see them in order. I loved both movies. I loved equally both. But for me, I was like, Temple of Doom is a bit better, I always thought. And I was stunned when people didn't think it was A, the best, B, but any good. It's like, oh, yeah, that was a trash movie. Like, it was? What? That was
he literally rips a dude's heart out of his chest.
Yeah, it's awesome. I saw it in the theater and I thought it was wicked, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw it twice in the theater.
Yeah.
Like our whole family would sit down and watch the Indiana Jones movies. I mean, that was my little sister, me, and we're like, call him on. Like, yeah.
And that guy's a great villain. He's a villain. He's
Mogambo. He's Mr. India. Yeah.
He's Mr. India.
I mean, the bug part, and he sticks his hand out the little hole. He's like, do it.
Yeah.
Just pull the lever.
The other right. Your other right.
That's what I don't. I mean, it had a freaking roller coaster. You were, the settings were so much better. It was just this wild adventure, and I was like, I'm with you guys. I've never understood the hate Temple of Doom had. I think
it's because for some reason they thought Raiders was whimsical, and if you watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, It is not whimsical.
No,
No.
it is not even. It's got Nazis in it, boys. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, come on. I mean,
I think it was like too dark, but I don't. They're both dark.
They're
you know?
both
Yeah,
like
dark.
a
They're
dude
both
literally
dark.
melts in Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's Nazis and stuff. And like I don't know. This is one of these things where it's like, remember the and this is a new one that's come up after ever since the newer Batman movies, where it's like, oh, the Jack Nicholson Joker. It's like, oh, he was so lame or whatever. It's like,
The
he's
reason why
literally
you have
insane.
Joker in your mouth right now is because of Jack Nicholson's
Nicholson.
Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one
Like,
cared about that character before that.
Look,
He was
100%,
around
man.
because
right.
of
Well,
the
you had
Romero and all
you
that.
had Romero,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, but that was a totally different kind of.
but the
Joker,
concept
you know.
of delivering a tour de force performance that's the talk of the town started with Jack Nicholson, and has now snowballed into like 2 Oscar wins basically.
Yeah.
For that character, yeah.
For that
but you know what
character.
though? They
Yeah.
shouldn't have recast that character though. Really,
They
After
shouldn't have,
Su-
yes.
when
And
Cesar
that there
Romero
was talk
passed
of that.
away-
Don't recast it, and then it won another Oscar anyways. Yeah.
Well, that's see, Sean. Here's what happened. Because Heath Ledger did such an amazing Oscar-winning performance, what they did was they pissed on his legacy, and they hated him so much that they recast him. Like, no, they recast it to keep the character going. Sean said this in the first 2 minutes of his review of
Wakanda
the
Forever.
Real Housewives of Wakanda. It is that though, Josh, man. It really is
The
that.
Real Housewives of
No,
Wakanda.
but and I'm laughing, but that's actually what it is. All
That's
of the men
terrible.
are terrible in this movie. Like that M'Baku is just a joke character. He's a joke character. Anyways.
Yeah, he's funny and stuff. He does. The thing is that they do go to him for wisdom, which I thought was weird. It's like a double standard. It's like they have to go to the man to talk some sense into him. You know, it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, when you get some kind of master plan, you let me know, huh?
The reason M'Baku was so much better in the first one was because he was this menacing force. He was anti-T'Challa,
Yes.
but then they were able to give him that little bit of levity at the end that was good, that was well written, where, you know, it's like, we will eat you, you know, and he's like, nah, we're kidding, we're vegetarians. That was freaking funny, but he was doing it to terrify the guy.
Yeah.
That's what made M'Baku awesome. And then he still had honor, which is why he shows up and, you know, supports them.
Yeah.
If you're going to just turn him into a throwaway character, which I knew they were going to, I knew there was
kind
no
of
way
a
they were going to, we've never gotten a real white ape like from the comics. I mean, it's just, we're never going to get that. I mean, you know,
we're never going to even get Black Panther. So what am I talking about?
Well, it's funny. Winston Duke was referring to that character as Manape in his press junkets for the first movie, and I was like, "You're really saying?" Because they didn't even say that in the movie. So he really actually read the comics, I guess. And he's like,
well, they probably told him that. They were like, "So there's this character called Manape, and that's your character," and he might have Wikipedia'd it. That's what 90% of these actors are doing. Like, I'm playing a character. Let me Wikipedia. This ain't like Blade had every issue of Blade, you know, reading it for Wesley Snipes. You didn't have every character who's like, I'm gonna like Ryan Reynolds. I'm gonna read every Deadpool issue there is and really get into this character, even though he basically is that character. He could have never read anything and he would have been nailed it.
Well,
but
Mark
now,
playing the Trickster.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, you know, the Trickster, he started out, he had the boots. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? It's like, oh, yeah, I read all the comics. I'm like,
Mark Hamill's a nerd, though. He's always been that. Yeah. He has a huge collection and everything. And he collected Star Wars. And there's an interview where back in the day, he told Kenner, like, you know, I'm Mark Hamill, man. He's like, give me 2 of everything. And so they did. And then he said, like, it was tough because his kids would get into his stash. Like, he'd hide it away from them. And if they discovered it, was he going to say no? So he's like, okay, fine, open it and all that, right? But he collected Star Wars when Star Wars was happening.
Wouldn't you? Someone made a plastic me. I'm going to run around.
There's a blonde one and a brown-haired one.
That's right. Oh, I have camo in that one? Give me that one. Oh, the black outfit? Yeah, I want that one too. The poncho, all of that, man.
The poncho. Yeah, I don't know which one I have. I think I have what was the one that's I have almost except for Princess Leia.
I had
and
Bespin.
Blue
I never
Snaggle.
had the original Luke. My
You didn't have
Luke
the
is
blonde
Bespin
farm
Luke.
boy.
Yeah, but you
didn't
have
have
it
farm-
now, though, Sean, don't
Yeah.
you?
Pardon?
You have it now, though.
Yeah, I have a beat up one. Yeah.
No,
I collect mostly the vehicles and the playsets.
Oh, because I've
The
got
Kenner
almost every
and you
Princess
collect all the
figure.
figures. Yeah.
Yeah. Together we can play.
Yeah.
We can play
There you
Star
go.
Wars. Whatever. All right,
It's too rich for my blood now, boys. I'm out. I can't do.
I did all this beforehand.
I feel like
Yeah.
the figures are what's skyrocketing in price, and especially the guns, like the accessories.
weapons are what
Yeah.
make them expensive.
Yeah.
I have Akbar's little stick, his wand.
Yeah.
That's like $20 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
You can get Akbar for $5 or his stick for $20.
Right.
It's on just in the corner laying on the shelf. I found it in a bag one day. I was like, well, that's money. Just a tiny little, not even a penny's worth of plastic. You know, it's $20.
Right.
Well, I've got, except for Princess Leia and Blue Snaggle, which I'll never have, I have every Star Wars release, at least one version of them. So I don't know which Luke I have. Complete. Empire Strikes Back, I have everybody.
But you don't have the 3-leg R2, right?
From Empire?
From Star Wars.
Then I have it, yeah.
It came. No, it's the Droid Factory.
No. If it's from a Droid Factory.
I have the Droid Factory with that. So,
yeah, no. It has to be. I don't have anything from the Droid. I don't have.
It has to be Factory. Like a figure released as a figure.
Released as a figure, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like cardback or whatever,
not like. My buddy in Ohio was at his house one day, and his mom come up for Christmas. This was only a few years ago. She had a bunch of boxes. She's like, we found some of this stuff, and it was a Vader case. And I was like, oh, dude, your old Star Wars. He's like, yeah, he opens that thing up and we're looking through it. And then I look down in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, what? There's a blue snag sitting at the bottom. I mean, the boots are almost perfect, almost no silver missing off of it.
$1,000 right there.
Dude, I was like, dude, we need to do something with that one. He goes, why? And I explained to him. He goes, I had no idea. I probably would have given it to one of the neighborhood kids and never even thought about it. I was just like, I've never thought I would see one, and touch one, let alone it's like, right here. Can I be that kid you give it to? Can you just give me the blue snack? I'll put it in my collection. Yeah. It's not worth anything, Rob. It's fine. I'll just take it over here.
Well, if you're going to keep it anyway, it doesn't really
It's got lead paint and everything. You're not supposed to have this one. I'll dispose of it for you. It'll be fine.
There's a 9th vote, so I closed the poll. Battle Beyond the Stars won 55%.
That's close, but we're 75% on our voting. So,
all right. So here's where we're at. We've got Outland. What do you want to do next week?
I think we should do one on the other side. Let's do Star Crash and Space Raiders.
All righty. Space Raiders. Star Crash.
Well, we know J-Man's bias, but
I know exactly what
we're gonna have to combine forces, Charlie. I don't know.
Do not go against me. Do not.
We're trying some reverse psychology right now, J-Man.
It's not gonna work. You cannot. Do I have?
I mean, what does that say about me?
I don't know. What does it say?
It says you can shit in my mouth.
Jesus.
So, is it fair to say that J-Man's on one side of the fence, Charlie's on the other, and Sean and I may be the swing votes?
I think that's my thought, but
we'll match them up honestly. But like Star Crash is, it's somebody's favorite on this thing. So
yeah. And listen.
It's like that. Like I want to see Star Crash versus Yor. I know which one would win. I think, but
I say what we do though is we have to start adding stipulations where you have to remove a character from a movie. So there's one character we have to remove from Star Crash and one character we have to remove from Space Raiders. Then we see how J-Man votes after we take someone out of Star Crash.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
You get asterisks. We should get asterisks.
Okay, you know what? That's it.
Screw all of you.
No, okay. First of all, I had this asinine argument with somebody about Army of Darkness and why that's a masterpiece. And they're like, well, if Bruce Campbell wasn't in it. Okay, and if we weren't on Earth, then there's no life on the planet. Like, what are you talking about? I don't.
There never would have been a movie. That would be the whole thing.
Movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh my god!
Can't believe you bust out the Bailey video.
I threw out the Bailey. I know. That's my absolute favorite clip of hers. Because she's so like. Screw all
of you.
It's like, yeah, man, that's awesome. We are going to do. I'm getting my mind into the fantasy. I want to do the fantasy one. I'm getting pumped. I'm starting to start.
Fantasy one's gonna be freaking awesome, man.
I can't get all the Ator movies because a lot of them are not available. There's 4, but Miles O'Keefe or whatever is only in 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't even know that this 4th one was one.
Oh,
there's like a weird one.
They called it Ator something, yeah.
No, it's not called Ator. It's called something else, but it is an Ator movie.
Yeah, but we only need one Ator movie for a tournament, though, right? Because you really don't want to put multiple. That's like putting multiple Deathstalkers.
Right.
I said the thing.
Oh, you said Deathstalker.
I'll have my revenge, and Deathstalker too.
I love that one. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. I'm sorry.
I don't know. We're gonna have to do a Deathstalker tournament, qualifying tournament.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the Deathstalker, and we could just do all 4. Like,
well, I was thinking like 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 are like the most evenly matched ones.
Yeah, because 1 and 4 is the same guy, and then 2 and 3 are 2 different guys, though.
4 hogsheads of milk a day, or whatever. That guy.
You love that character.
I love that guy.
I found that for you. I was like, Sean's gonna love this movie. So I mean, I've done a few good deeds. Like I got Charlie for Space Hunter. I'm very happy with myself on that.
I'm still excited about that. I love that movie. I love it.
I mean, Space Hunter. We'll see
that's what I'm terrified about in this final match.
The problem is there's going to be me liking it versus me actually, because the thing is, like, we're at a point where I pretty much like all these movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's really only, I don't know, 1 or 2 in this right now that I could be like, I don't really care about. But everything else, I'm like, I'm not mad if any of these others win, but I know what my favorites are. You know, like today, I was not going to be mad if Outland didn't go forward. You know, it's just the one I prefer over the other, you know, and that's the beauty of what we're doing, though. It's all, you know, we're just picking, you know, it's really breaking it down. I like this, you know.
Yeah.
We're not reviewing the movie. We're just seeing how much fun we can have with each one.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, Battle Beyond the Stars should be the winner of this whole thing, right?
It ain't.
And it went out
the closest one.
Week 1.
It had a bye week when it came in. It went up against Space Mutiny. I mean, basically, there was no way it wasn't going to make it into the tournament. You know,
someone in another channel, ETAP, who's a pretty cool guy, he just did a Space Mutiny watch party like last week. I was like, dude, I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like,
that's awesome.
Did Space Mutiny? Come on, you gotta. So that was pretty.
And
neat.
still no love for Enemy Mine. It's like just that movie's cursed or something. Huh?
Yeah, too good.
No, it's just too good. That's what it is.
It went in the too good corner.
It's so good it took Arena with it. I don't know what happened there.
Well, I would say that everything on here is still better than the Real Housewives of Wakanda.
That's Space Mutiny is better than the real. Galaxina is better than the Real Space Wives.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
I'd watch that. Like, you could fit 2 of those movies in one Wakanda Forever, right? So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah, I would do Galaxina and Star Crash in the same day, and then versus Wakanda, like no problem. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it then. So tomorrow's the big one. That's going to be the destruction,
the love fest for Wakanda Forever.
That's it, man.
the destruction of Wakanda forever, and we're going to give our apologies to Bill Everett, and we are going to honor Chadwick Boseman because he was awesome, and he was the best, and he was the best in Civil War.
Oh, absolutely.
And he got me pumped up for Black Panther. I bought all the Funkos, all the Marvel Legends, those little steel characters, those little metal guys, I got that, and then I got the smaller version of that, and I've got a Black Panther stuffed toy which is back there that speaks and does all the lines. It's like I went crazy for Black Panther. And then they destroyed it all by not recasting.
When you hear what he has to say in like press junkets and stuff too about the character, it's kind of refreshing to hear that now, because it's he's so respectful of his role and responsibility playing the character, and you don't get that anymore from anybody. So
no, and it was at a point too where he knew there was a point where he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So he really elevated that character so that it could carry on. He probably fully expected it to be pass the mantle, recast me, do something, and they didn't.
And Charlie and I did not discuss this.
No,
this is exactly what I said. I'm like, guys, this person didn't go through all this pain and suffering to make this movie and complete it and be an ambassador for this character so it could die with them.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm tired. I'm tired of this. We need more Black superhero role models. You had the first one ever in your hands.
I think what was going on though was when they were making the sequel, I remember reading about how Chadwick Boseman was not happy with where they were going with it, and the rumor was that they're going to make sure they're going to make Shuri the new Black Panther, and I don't know how they're going to do that with Chadwick Boseman still around. But that was always so I think that's where the germ of this came from, that when he died, they're like, okay, let's just kill him off and make, and I don't think it's some sort of honor for him. I think they always had this idea to make it female. And I think because that was what was like where the rumors were going before he died. So I think they just took that as a cue to just do what they wanted to do. And it's a miserable movie.
They're pushing they're pushing an agenda without trying to get too political about it.
Yeah.
They ended the first one perfectly the way they did, to open up the doors to Wakanda, to start building these places for, youth and stuff like that. It was the best send off for that character, because they don't dig into that in the end game. I don't count the end of, the Black Panther as end game. It was the end of Black Panther, where they were trying to do right. They were trying to erase the the history that their forefathers had built to protect themselves. That was not the way to go. That type of story, I'm 100% behind. Not this new agenda they're trying to push right now with everything. All of the movies.
Well, there's a way to do this, and they don't know how to develop character and story and what mythology is and what a hero's journey is.
No.
It's just like you can do this if you do it properly, but you can't even do that, right? It's like you had 3 movies to develop, Ray. You couldn't even do that,
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good news is that the trailer for John Wick 4 came out the other day, and it looks awesome.
Oh, absolutely!
It's so funny because when I saw Wakanda, they played the John Wick 4 trailer, and the audience was like, "Oh!" As soon as they saw what it was, like, "Oh!" Everyone freaked out.
Yeah,
and then they remembered they're like, "Oh man, the movie that's coming after this that we got to watch for 2 hours and 41 minutes." And
that was the opening act playing first, and then they had to watch, the Black Panther afterwards. But no, I can't wait. And I'll tell you what, there's a movie coming out that I can't wait to watch, and it's Violent Night. I am there for David Harbour as Santa Claus. I'm going to the theater to watch. Oh, have you not seen the trailer? Holy shit, dude, watch the trailer. Oh my God. It's the same production company that did John Wick, Nobody, all those movies. Oh my God, dude, I cannot wait. I'm so pumped.
All right, guys. So tomorrow, that's the Wakanda breakdown is tomorrow. After that, we'll be back on Tuesday for wrestling, and we're just going to go from there. I don't want to schedule too many ahead. But all right, guys, later.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.